I know my phone's been blowing up. I've been on so many calls this morning, yesterday. We call it Eight to Faint, right? We're in the middle of what we call a growathon, and we have a lot of people that are close to some major ranks. Income is rising. I mean, we just launched off another investment, a part of a 5K club. So look, it's getting crazy, T. The money's coming, right? We always used to say, hey, baby, the money's coming,
The
and the
money's
money's here for
coming.
you guys. But look, T, let's get it kicked off. I'll really quickly share my story, but I'm excited for everybody again. I want you all to take notes. I want you all to get excited. I want you all to make sure as soon as we get done doing this call, because we're going to bring the fire. And if you have any guests on this line, I want you, as soon as we get off this call, to get on a call with them and help them get launched off, because they're going to want to be a part of what we have. But really quick, T, I'll share my story, man, then I'll pass it to you. And then what we're going to do, we're going to have some quick testimonials. We have some leaders on the line that are killing it in their business. They're killing it in their investments. And we're going to have some quick testimonials from some people. But my story, my background, Jason Solomon from Indianapolis, Indiana, born and raised. And I've been a part of this amazing community environment. We have an extension of this for about 7 years. And it's changed the course of my life. I've been blessed to be able to travel the world and do things that I want to do on my time and live what we call a free lifestyle. And Tierra, my favorite word is freedom. And the reason why is because I learned early on, man, that freedom is the most expensive thing you're ever going to have to get. And
Right.
so everybody on this line right now is looking for freedom, whether it comes to time freedom, financial freedom, whether it comes to the environment that you live in, being able to do the things you want to do. That's exactly what we have right here with what we're building, T. And me growing up, I was an athlete. I played sports, and sports was the route. Sports was supposed to be the vehicle that got me to my destination. But I always share this. I say, look, you may have the fastest car, the nicest vehicle, the brand new Lamborghini or the Bugatti, but it doesn't matter what type of car you have. If your destination is an island, you're going to need something that floats or flies. So a lot of people think they have the best vehicle, but they don't have the right vehicle.
Right.
Here, that's what I figured out in my life. We had some good ideas, but we weren't in the right vehicle. We weren't in the right environment. So T, this is the right environment for people that want to become wealthy. We have some people doing amazing. We can't make income claims, but I'm going to claim that there's some people earning some very serious income that are part of this business. And T, I'm excited for the newest people to get launched off, man. I'll pass it to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember, 6 years ago when I first got introduced to this idea and this platform, guys, I was broke, busting, disgusted. I was robbing Peter to pay Paul. And just got to a point where, I was tired of doing what I was doing. My background is in personal training and fitness exercise, managed a few gyms here in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I decided that I was going to do something different. But, I understood that different had to, different was causing me to get uncomfortable. And guys, I want you to understand this. Uncomfort can be a good thing. Okay. And so, I got uncomfortable. I started to seek more wisdom. I started to seek for new opportunities. I know a lot of people are not looking for an opportunity. Most people are looking for a lottery ticket or a fairy godmother, but I wasn't looking for that. I was looking for something that was more practical, Jason. And that's when I reached out to Mr. Darren Gibson, and I saw the type of lifestyle that he was living. He was 25 at the time, made multiple six figures, had a luxury sports car and had his own home. But at a very young age, I realized that he was doing something that I wasn't doing. He knew something that I didn't know. So all I had to do was, Andy, I had to put my pride to my side, Bernadette, put my ego in my pocket, and do exactly what this man was telling me to do. Why? Because I didn't know enough in order for me to be skeptical. Matter of fact, I wasn't qualified to say no. And so what I did was I, sat down with him. He introduced me to this concept, and he introduced me to a new way of living. And so that's when he introduced me to, the entrepreneurship lifestyle when it comes to having control of your own time, your income, and your future. And so, I really got excited about, what he was doing, and not only that, what he was creating with this amazing community that we have today. And I'm a firm believer that what we're doing is helping people create a new lifestyle. And Jason, I'm a firm believer, when you buy into other people's opinion, you have to buy into the lifestyle. Life is what everybody is gifted, but style is the way that they live it. And so I realized that the lifestyle that Darren was living was a lifestyle that I would want to live. And not only that, I would want to help other people live as well. And so that's what happened. In a matter of 24 hours, I was able to earn some income. In a matter of 3 weeks, I was able to quit my job. I know we don't, say, income claims, but you know, I was able to quit my job in a short period of time. Why? Because I followed a system. And so, Jason, we're going to share with them the system that we have today. But not only that, we're going to bring up some success stories to let them know, hey, look, you can trust the system. You can trust what we have going on because it's helping a lot of people. And so, Jason, I know you got some rock stars on here that are, you know, all the way across the globe and doing some amazing things. So, Jason, I'm going to let you introduce these two phenomenal ladies.
Yeah. Well, T, let's talk about the system before I bring them up, because they're following the system. And I remember we were in Germany, or not Germany, we were somewhere, somewhere in this world, right? I don't know where we go, but one of our mentors said, everybody on this line's heard about a company named McDonald's. All right, some of y'all eat there a little too often, but we all heard about a company named McDonald's. And here, where we're from, teenagers worked at McDonald's. And McDonald's sales grew every single year. So you got $1 billion company that's ran by teenagers because they have a system.
Right.
So Tier, we always say a fifth grader can earn a 6-figure income in this business if they just do exactly what we tell them. And these individuals that you see with Amanda, Aaron, and Biffy, these ladies, look, our industry, 80% of millionaires are ladies or women. And these ladies are very close to being there. So T, what I'm going to do, we're going to have some quick stories. I'm going to bring up Amanda first. Now, I want her to share a testimony, and I'm excited for people to hear different stories, because Tia, they hear from me, they hear from you, but they don't get to hear from the people that are in the trenches all the time, that are working their behinds off and making it happen. I remember, it's funny, me and Amanda connected through Biffy actually, maybe about 8 months ago. And she just said yes, maybe 2 months ago. And she's about a few thousand volume away from of her first 6-figure rank. And I seen this lady transition because, you know, Tierra, when I first got started in the business, I was the kid with the hoodie up, the headphones, and even if I knew you, I wouldn't talk to you. Amanda was the same way. And now she's transitioning into a leadership role. And now she's on the verge of becoming time and financially free because she's following the system. She has her investments and she's doing exactly what we tell her. So Amanda, I want you to jump on here really quick, share your story, where your background, you know, give it about 60 seconds to maybe no more than 2 minutes, but share what you're excited about, especially with the 5K Club, and then we'll get to the next person.
Thank you, Jason. Okay, this is going to be hard because I talk a lot. I want to start by saying the right environment is really, really, really important. That's what I've been learning. And if I'm very honest, where I've been, I have been the very definition of an unsuccessful person. I always kind of knew that there was more available to me, and then I had this big vision. I didn't know how to get to it, and I kept getting discouraged because I would, you know, talk to people or try to share my ideas with people, and it was just like a wall every time. So being in the wrong environment. Also, my own paradigm would kind of get me down. So I never had a full-time, like year-round job for more than 6 months. So it was always seasonal jobs and kind of bouncing back and forth from one thing to the next, kind of just always looking for something else. My first initiation into network marketing, I said yes right away, and I jumped right in without questioning it. And that was about 2 years ago. And I never got any traction with it. And so I always had the vision of how this can change people and change the world, but I wasn't getting the right environment. And then along comes Biffy after I completed the Bob Proctor program. And it took me a little while to see the vision, but she just kept inviting me to these calls, and I finally figured it out. And I just knew that this was the environment that was going to get me there. And in the last, it's been like 2 weeks since this June run started. So in the past like month to 2 weeks, my life has just completely 180'd. So I'm very grateful to be here.
Perfect.
Thank you,
well,
Jason.
Man, I'm excited for you. Yeah. I mean, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, you're on the verge right now and we can't make income claims, but with the things that you're doing, the investments that you have, you're on the verge of doing your first 6-figure income. So keep doing what you're doing, and I'm excited for your journey. All right. Perfect. T, I'm passing it to you, man.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to bring up, I want you to bring up Biffy. So that way, you know, because, you know, Biffy is the one who introduced Amanda. And, you know, I think it'd, you know, be great to have her share her story on how she got connected with Amanda, and then, sharing going from there.
Man, I think it's unique how we all get connected. I remember I got on a call with Biffy. Biffy jumped on one of these calls. All right. So if you're brand new and this is your first exposure, you're in the seat that they were in. And when you hear where they're at, that's exactly where you can be. I remember I jumped on a call with Biffy right after she got on one of these calls. And I said, tell me about your story. And she said, well, I've been in network marketing for 18 months. And we always ask people questions. And I said, well, how big is your team? And I thought she said 6. She said 0. I said 0 people after 18 months. She said, yeah. And I said, well, what are you looking for? She said, I'm looking for the environment. And in the past month, Biffy has done more in the past month. Listen to this. Matter of fact, the past 2 weeks that she did in the first 18 months that she was in the industry. And she's only about 2,000 so volume from her first 6-figure rank. So I'm excited for Biffy. And Biffy, if you want to share your story really quick, you can. You're killing it. You're a mom of 2 kids and you're running your business. So what you do, Biffy, is you eliminate all excuses. And I think it's important for them to hear from somebody like yourself. So Biffy, stage is yours.
Uh-oh, give me 1 second. She muted herself. There you go, Biffy.
Somebody got too excited.
I got way too excited. You guys, I had my camera off because I want to show you this. It's on now. But I don't know if you guys can see me. This is where I'm currently at, building a business right now. I'm in a cabana with my daughter. She's throwing cookies everywhere. We're going swimming and we're having a blast. So we have fun when we do this, you guys. But I'm so happy and grateful that I found this and that it just got attracted to my life. So about 8 or 9 months ago, when I got into this business, as Jason expressed, I didn't have success in network marketing prior. And it was a couple of reasons. One was the mentorship. So it is very vital to make sure that you get into the right environment, that you're with the right people. The other thing too is how important it is to make sure that you're responsible for your results. And those are the 2 things that I didn't do initially. So hence why I had 0 people initially and why I didn't make very much. I didn't make anything significant, to live off of or anything like that. But I'm just so grateful because when I did meet Jason and when we spoke and he said, how quickly do you want to change your results? I told him as soon as possible and, started getting on that track. And it really does take the repetition to keep applying things, to keep listening, to have something inside that's going into your subconscious mind that you want to listen to, that you want to go forward for. When you hear people say that you're weird or you have your friends go, oh, this is the look I get all the time, you guys. Oh, that's great. Well, I support you. Then you're going in the right direction. So I just started having things click a couple months ago and, just went, let's go with this. And, again, the mentorship was great because when you're at a place where you don't believe in yourself, find the people who will hold on to that belief for you until you can believe in it yourself. And I'm finally at that place where I believe it. I'm, on a great track with hitting my goals right now. And I'm excited for July, to be able to celebrate all this. So thank you so much, you guys. Just really follow whoever brought you on here. They know what they're doing. Do exactly what they say. And you can be able to get into a place where the dreams that you have actually are possible and that they can come true, that you won't get any more looks from people saying that you're weird or it's just in your head or it's just in your imagination. You actually can have it. If you can hold it in your head, you can hold it in your hands, guys.
Awesome, Biffy. Awesome. Look, she's over there preaching, wasn't she?
Preaching with a baby. That's how I am. Killing it, Biffy. Proud of you. See?
Absolutely. Well, I want to bring up this rock star, Miss Erin Kane, all the way from Scotland. And, just to see this young lady go to, the Dubai event and then, just really see the vision, really catch the vision. And not only that, on our last Growathon, she went from, I believe, director all the way up to Sapphire, which is the first leadership rank within our company. And, I'm just extremely proud of, what you're doing, because not only that, she has Fraser right there next to her, Fraser the Razor. And, these two are really just changing the game in a major way. And not only that, you know, her self-image is definitely changing, but not only that, I told her, hey, I want you to be on this call today. And she's like, oh my God, I'm freaking out, but I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this. And so I want to bring up Miss Erin Kane to share her story and, you know, why this why grow-a-thons are essential to your growth.
Hi.
Erin.
Hi, so my name is Erin, of course, and I am from Scotland. You said that well, Tia. Just a little bit about my story. I was a teacher, well, still am a teacher, before I was introduced to iBoomerang. And, you know, what this has shown me is that I value my time so much more now. And I'm excited about the 5K Club. I'm excited about how the investments are going to change our lives and how I can actually get that time freedom to be able to do the things that I want to do. You know, Fraser's been away in Cancun, he's been away in Texas, while I've had to stay home because I can't get time off during term time. So I'm excited about Prague, that's during my summer holidays. And yeah, I'm excited for everything that's to come and introducing more people to what we do and changing their lives.
Awesome. Awesome. Just one more thing. In regards to events, because you came to the Dubai event, why are attending events so crucial to you and your vision?
You don't know what you don't know. Like, I didn't know that big, whole, amazing world existed out there. I knew Dubai would have been amazing, but when I went there and, you know, Mr. Bugs, Mrs. Bugs put on an amazing event for us, that we were just saying we need to live this life. Like, we need more of this. I want my kids to experience this. You know, this is amazing.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, Erin. Congratulations on your success. I know that this is just the beginning, and you know, just keep rocking. I know for sure that you're definitely going to be rocking with the lady leadership here in a second.
Thanks for having me on.
All right.
Good.
Awesome.
Well, look, guys, put some fire emojis in the chat for these women. They're absolutely killing it. And like we said, Tia, a majority of millionaires are women in this business. And that shows you why. So T, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Let's run through this, but let's make it impactful, all right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, the main four things that I know that a lot of people are looking for, you know, not even just everybody that's on this call as well. You know, you didn't join this business just for one thing. You joined this business, you know, in the beginning for one thing, but it multiplied into bigger things, right? I know, Jason, you and I, we started, you know, for different reasons, but, you know, our reasons started to multiply once we got in. You know, some of them, you know, were family. Some of it was, you know, money. Some of it was, you know, time, a better future. And then some of it was really, you know, just to make a bigger impact because nobody else could really make a big impact, you know, around us. And so, you know, I often tell people, you know, to one person or to the world, you may be one person, but to one person, you may be the world. And it all comes down to what you're giving. Everybody put the word giving inside the chat because at the end of the day, givers gain. And we can tell that based upon the law of compensation. Number one, there has to be a need for what you do. Number two, you have to have the ability to do it. And then number three, the level of difficulty in replacing you. And so I know what we're doing is we're helping people get all four of these things. But Jason, I know the main thing that helped us in regards to, you know, the other three things was, you know, getting in a better environment. Once we changed our environment, everything else started to come, you know, copacetically. And so it's like, okay, what do we need to do, you know, to help other people do the same thing? And that's, again, keep giving. Right? So Jason, what you think about that, man?
No, I think it's huge, man. You know, the biggest thing to I learned was this, is that as human beings, we tend to lie to ourselves. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest lies we say is, I don't need all that. And Tia, we grew up in the environment where if we saw somebody that had more money, if we saw somebody that had more time, a better lifestyle, like, you know, we live in the environment now. I live in Carmel, Indiana, and this is where the bougie people live. And we would always say, oh, we don't need all that. You know, they're bougie, they got all this. But at the end of the day, no one is put here to struggle. Mm-hmm. Look, if I heard a quote here, and it was by a guy who his name was Mike, and he earns millions of dollars now, and he was in our first business. And he said, if you're born in poverty, that's not your fault. He said, but if you die in the same struggle that you were brought up in, that's your choice. And so, Tierra, the biggest thing that we saw was opportunity. When we saw a different environment, we saw opportunity change, because no one is struggling. Look, I don't think anybody on this call, there's what, 60 of you on this call, put me in the chat if you woke up and said, I can't wait to be broke today. Put me in the chat and said, man, I can't wait to go to a job that I hate today and lose more time. I never said that. So Tierra, every single time, you can laugh at me, but it's true. No one says it, but the question is, why do people do it? Tierra, and I learned it's because of the environment. So yeah, you're spot on, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when you change your environment, you have to change your mindset. It's a byproduct of that. And I know, Jason, when we first got introduced to, the 3 ways of earning income, matter of fact, when we actually decided who our mentor was going to be, that's when our mindset started to shift, right? Because at the end of the day, when you get a mentor, you start to shift your mindset. It just happens to, work that way. Why? Because it's like what we always say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You have to be ready to receive the information that is being given. And, I know when I sat down with Mr. Gibson, it just came to a point where I was tired of being broke, busted, and disgusted. I was tired of living in my grandmother's basement. My self-image was not matching the desire that I had. And so, when I met Mr. Gibson, it was like, okay, I'm on the right track. Why? Because whoever you tune into is what you're going to turn into. And I say, you know what, man, he got the results. He's doing it. He's living the way that I want to live. Not only that, he's helping other people how to live as well. But all he simply did was change his environment, right? And so what you need to do is, in order for you to change your mindset, change your environment as well. And so once you accept the new information, that's when the transformation will come. But the transformation doesn't come until you take action based off of the information that you're given. Jason, I know that this is something that, we've been studying for quite some time, man. So let's go into the three ways of earning income, man.
Yeah, this was the only class I showed up on time for. Look, I heard Jim Rohn. Anybody know Jim Rohn? Late great Jim Rohn. He said, man, if school taught wealth 1, wealth 2, wealth 3, I would have took all 3 classes. And see, when we first got around Darren and the environment, and then obviously, his mentor of Mr. Bob Proctor and all the greats that were teaching this information, one of the first subjects they talked about was money. And the reason why is because when you think about how we live in our world, you can't do anything without income. You can't really have a fulfilled lifestyle if you don't have money.
Right.
I know a lot of people right now, they always say, money isn't everything, or money doesn't grow on trees, or we don't need all that. But I want people to understand it's not about you needing all that, it's about you using it. Like I did a call the other day and I said, having income or time and financial freedom is like having tools to build your house.
Right.
You're not going to hit a nail with your hand, you're going to hit a nail with a hammer. But if you don't have the right tools to build your house, there's no way you're going to complete the project. And Tierra, we were trying to complete our lives, and you know how when people get in personal growth, they start doing the meditation and the voodoo and the see it, believe it, achieve it, and if I can just manifest my way there, and they're doing all the right things in the beginning, but they're missing some key components that can help them speed up the process.
Right.
Tierra, that key component for us was money. I remember when Darren told me to go home, he said, Jason, I want you to go home and I want you to study money. I want you to look up this subject. And he said, Tierra, this is the thing. Before we even present people with what we do, before we even show them the business model, I know because some people jump on the car, they're like, hey, you guys never really talk about the business model. You never really talk about the products. Well, why would we show you $1 million opportunity with a 2-figure mindset?
Right.
Why would we present something to you that can help you earn more income in a day than some people do in a lifetime, and you don't have the right mindset about money? Correct. So before we fill up the bottle, we must open up the lid. And Tierra, what happened with us was our lid got opened up. Jason, I want you to go home. I want you to look up Bob Proctor. Listen to him talk about money. And I remember he said this on the YouTube, and it changed my life. He said, there's 3 ways of earning income. I'm going to run through this. Y'all know I can spend an hour on this, but I'm going to run through it. He said, there's 3 ways of earning money. Now, this is the thing. When you're looking at earning income, I want you all to understand money is not bad. Money is not bad. is, look, Tia, I never seen a dollar bill fight me. I never seen a Benjamin swing on me. Money never pulled out a gun on anybody. So when we think about having income, the more income you have, money doesn't make you, it just enhances who you are. So I truly believe, Tia, that if we attract who we are, not what we want, there's nothing but good people on this line. There may be one or two bad seeds, but majority of them pretty good. So if you're a good person, I'm a firm believer you need more of what can make you more of who you are, and that's money. And so I heard Bob talk about the 3 levels. He said money 1, money 2, money 3, or we can call this mindset 1, mindset 2, mindset 3. He said money 1 is the first strategy. Now, this is the thing here. He said there's, out of these 3 ways, there's 2 ways that work very, very well. Here, I know you have your income in the M2 strategy and also in the M3 strategy, but he said the one way that doesn't really work, that has never worked and was never designed to work, is the one way that majority of the world choose. And it's called M1, which is trading time for money. He said money 1, 96% of the world's in this category. Now, what's trading time for money? You can say it's a job. It's where you're clocking in, clocking out. It's where you're giving up time to get a little bit of money. Tierra, we talk to so many different people, and the reason why we always ask people questions is to get people to think. I forget who said the quote. They said, if most people said what they were thinking, they would be speechless, because mental activity does not equal speaking or does not equal thinking. When people are in this category, they really have to start to think about what they're doing with their life. I got a question for you all. Which one is more valuable, time or money? Just put it in the chat. Whichever you believe. And you don't have to be politically correct and follow what everybody else puts. Just put what you truly believe is the most valuable thing, time or money. I see Toby, time, Melina, time, Cassandra, time, Dominique, time, Andy, time. So you all would agree that time is more valuable than money. Remember when I said people don't think? I heard the quote that said 2% of the world thinks. 3% think they think. That was us. We were the know-it-alls. And 95% of the world rather die than think. Because if time is really more valuable than money, I have a question for you. Why would you ever trade your time for money? If time's really the most valuable asset, why would you ever give up 40 years of your time for a little bit of money? We would see the same cycle happening over and over and over again. And we always question, why is that happening? Because what people do is they follow the follower.
Right.
There's a quote, and I love this quote because it smacked me in the head the first time I heard it. And it said this, it said, if you're following somebody that's lost, where's it going to take you? I was talking with someone yesterday, and that we were having a conversation. I don't know how in the heck we got on this topic, but we started talking about school system. And we started talking about the educational system and how, and the person said, man, you know what's crazy, man? You know, even in our school systems, people don't teach us about how to earn money. And I said, well, that's not crazy. He said, why? I said, because they don't know how to earn money. You have to really take in who you're listening to. Tierra, let's get into the M2 strategy. This is not to talk down on jobs, all right? Because some people are like, you guys just beat up the 9 to 5. No. If you have a job, that's a blessing, because some people don't have them. But the biggest challenge here is not just having one, it's keeping one.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't start building outside of that, because we saw what happened during the pandemic. I remember most people always say, man, you got to get a good job because there's security in a job. During the pandemic. How much security was it during then? Look, put me in the chat if you had a shaky situation with your 9 to 5 during the pandemic, or if you ran a business. Tierra, was crazy during that time period. I got more phone calls from company owners than I did from employees. Because if your income is reliant on you being in a building and you can't go to a building, how are you going to earn? It's like the famous person said, if God took away time, how would you get paid? So T, M2, you're in M2. You showed me your check yesterday. I'm trying to get some of Tierra's money. Look, M2 is what 3% of the world is in. It's a beautiful way. All right, I love this strategy. But the biggest challenge with the M2 strategy is that it takes a lot of money to make a lot of money. This is what we call investments. Now we have our 5K club, T, and the 5K club was designed for people to get first into the M3 strategy. Well, first it was like this. We designed our 5K club to get people out of the M1 to skip to M3 to have money to put in M2. Because the M2 strategy is where you can take all your income that you're earning and reinvest it into assets that can keep producing income whether you're there or not. Some of you on the line have the NFTs or different investments, the crypto and all those different things. That's a beautiful way, but it costs money, man. But Tierra, what we were introduced to was M3. This is where it first started for me. And it's what 1% of the world is actually earning from. But Tierra, when I think about this strategy, everybody in the world uses it, but very few people earn from it.
Right.
If you see it says MSIs, like all of you who are studying Bob Proctor, you've heard of MSIs before. Tierra, I like to call this strategy residual as well. Residual income, where you're having multiple sources of residual income. I did a call yesterday and I was talking to the people, and I always share this because in order for you to build somebody up, you got to take them back down to where they're at. And I asked the question, I said, let me ask you guys this. How many of you have bills on this line? Everybody said me. I said, well, when you think about earning residual income, because some people don't know what residual income means.
Right.
But I'm going to teach you what residual is in your life today. You have bills that continue to flow into your life, whether you want them to or not. Your bills show up when you're sick. Your bills show up when you don't want them to. I mean, they show up when they don't have to. I mean, they just show up. They like that cousin that won't leave you alone. You know, the cousin just come at your door. Y'all got that cousin? And he just won't leave. They just keep showing up. Or the little brother, little sister just keep knocking on your door. Well, that's how bills are. I remember this is one thing Bob told us. He said, if your bills continue to come, whether you want them to or not, why doesn't your money? He said, you think this system was just falling out of the sky? It was designed this way. What we had when we first got into this business, forget the products, forget network marketing. This was a wake-up call. I never heard anybody talk like this. I signed up for this. I didn't even know what the green juice was that we had back in the day. I said, I don't know what Inga or Moringa. It was Moringa. I didn't know what any of that was. I said, because somebody woke me up about where I was at, I need to keep feeding my mind with this information. So Tierra, when we talk about the income and how we're teaching people how to build wealth, you hear Frazier on the line. Frazier was snorkeling, looking at his charts and getting paid in the water because his money wasn't based upon him being in a building. His income was based upon the service he provided. So when I think about residual income, I think about Michael Jackson. Look, any of you guys hear Thriller? Yeah, Frazier's laughing. I know Tierra was kind of drowning. You know, I was the one floating. But, you know, anybody ever heard of Michael Jackson? And you guys probably listen to Thriller or listen to any of his music still today. All of you probably have. Well, look, Michael Jackson's been dead since 2008, but he's still getting paid. It's called residual income. Tierra, I remember when Bob passed away, and I think I saw something that said he earned more income a week after his death than he did when he was alive. Because what he did was he set up situations that produce income whether he's there or not. Here in our environment, the biggest challenge is this. We're taught to leave an inheritance for our children's children. But I want you all to think about this. If you died today, would your boss pay your kids? If you weren't here tomorrow, would your job be passed down to your family? You didn't survive, whatever, knock on wood, hopefully you do, but with that income that you're earning right now, the 40, 50, 60, 100,000 a year as an employee, would that be passed to your family? If the answer is no, then you have to get out that strategy. Because you won't leave an inheritance, you'll leave bills, more bills. So T, what we're really doing, man, is not just teaching people how to earn wealth. There's people on this line right now, their income's going crazy. I mean, we were doing some numbers and anybody that got the limited edition NFTs, I mean, I'm not making income plays, but you'll be at a few thousand a week in a few months. It'll be crazy. So people's income is rising like this, like that. And you know what the thing is, Tierra? They're not learning more information. They're just taking different action.
Right.
So T, let's get into the system, man, in the vehicle.
Absolutely. Like I was telling a group of people last night that, you know, I look at iBoomerang. I use this company as a way to generate and create wealth, but not only that, I help give people a way to where they can create wealth as well, because you got to have different vehicles based upon what it is that the destination that you're going towards. Well, in most cases right now, you go to your job to take care of your bills. That your job is a vehicle to take care of your bills or responsibilities. But what you should also do is take the money that you're earning from your job and put it towards investments. Don't just save to, you know, just save for a rainy day. Save to invest, earn to invest. Because when you earn to invest, you have a lot more opportunities to have a lot more free time and freedom later on. So I like to say that iBoomerang is the vehicle. My favorite vehicle is a Rolls-Royce Wraith or Cullinan, but you know, I look at this as a luxury vehicle that will get me further down the highway of success. Understand that success is a highway, right? Life is a highway. And during that highway, you got different exits, right? And so with this company, you got to realize that we have a platform, we got a company that has 5 different streams of income that you can earn with. 5. But the major thing that I really love about it is the artificial intelligence that's attached to it. I look at iBoomerang like Amazon, right? I would say Amazon and Facebook. Why? Because number one, a lot of people don't realize this, but you know, when it came to Facebook, how did everybody find out about Facebook? A friend telling a friend telling a friend. Well, that's the same thing with iBoomerang. But with iBoomerang, it started off with what? With travel. What did Amazon start off with? It started off with books. And now they have what? Medicine now. They got, you know, grocery stores. You know,
They got medicine for your medicine, man.
they got everything. They are a one-stop shop. And that's the vision behind iBoomerang. We want to make this a one-stop shop for everybody. Just like we got all these supermarkets, these superstores. That's what iBoomerang is right now. And we're focused around technology. Why? Because technology is constantly evolving. We got this thing called a smartphone, but most people don't have a smartphone. Why is that? Because they're not earning any income from it. The great thing about what we teach people is we teach you on how to use this vehicle and turn your dumb phone into a smartphone. Because you're going to use your phone to call somebody and tell them, hey, did you watch that TikTok video? Hey, did you watch that thing, right? Did you watch Love and Hip Hop? You're already sharing, you know, all of these different things, but you're not earning any income from it. What if you could share with people a way where you can actually save some money, you can earn some money, but you can also grow your money? Do you believe that other people would see the value in what you have? Absolutely. And that's why I always share, Jason, that sharing is caring. If you're not sharing, you really don't care about what other people have or what they're going through. So for the people that always say, man, I love helping people. Well, when was the last time you shared with somebody something that could add value to their future, add some income in their pockets? When was the last time you shared some information to help them change their mental capacity? When was the last time you done it? So the good thing that I love about the Crib is it is a perpetual residual income builder. I like to call it the permanent retirement income builder. Why? Because once you acquire a customer for free one time and they use your I Go For Less platform and they see how much they can save, now they're going to go and do what? They're going to use it constantly. Why? Because once you get a lifetime customer, you don't have to think about if that customer is going to come back to you. Why? Because you provided enough service without having to sell. And the whole philosophy behind iBoomerang is I give out goodwill and it comes back to me. That's why we always say travel and trade get you paid. Actually, helping people save gets you paid.
Right.
Jason, when was the last time, you know, in our previous company, we saved them some money on, you know, their grocery bill and we get paid? Never.
Every day. Yeah.
Never. So guess what? Now we got this. It's so much simpler. I want to call it easier. It is easier, because, you know, you don't have to sell. Why? Because the artificial intelligence, the Prib is going to do that for you. It's going to upsell, it's going to cross sell, it's going to do all the things, Jason, that we didn't want to do in our previous company.
Yeah.
And so
Well,
that's
T,
why, you know, the system is breaking down for average individuals. And I'm not calling anybody average, but the average individual, and give them a position, give them an opportunity where they can earn income in their sleep more than they are when they're awake.
well, T, think of it like this, man. Nobody wants to work. Look, if y'all could be lazy your whole life, you would, right? But T, what I thought about was this, man, because I like relating what we do, because most people, they don't understand what we do until we relate it to what they do.
Right.
And when I think about iBoomerang, I look at this as, let's say, Adidas. And every little dot that you see around the Prib, let's say that was a pair of shoes, then that was a shirt, then that was some socks, or that was a hat, or that was this, right? So you got all these different clothing lines, or one clothing line that has all these different pieces in it. And every time you used it and you told your friend where you got the shirt from and he bought the shirt, Adidas paid you a percentage.
Mm-hmm.
And every time that same friend, because you were the first person to tell them to go there, every time that same friend went back and used your codes, because that's the only way you get the shirt, to buy a new shirt or to buy a hat or to buy some shoes, Adidas still paid you a royalty percentage because you were the first person to tell them to go there. I wish Adidas, I would have been a millionaire at 18. Tier, we grew up around, everybody had more Jordans than Michael Jordan. We would all been millionaires if Michael Jordan would just, hey man, where'd you get those new shoes from? He would change a color, we buy the same shoe, and he would get paid from us telling our friends to go get the new pair of shoes. But Jordan never paid you for you sharing that opportunity.
Right.
So Tier, what we have to learn is this is not something you have to learn. That makes sense? What you have to learn is this is not a business you actually have to learn. The only thing you have to do is change your conversation. Earn what's called a compensation, because you're already hey man, I just found a cheap flight on Expedia. Next time you travel, go check it out. Well, what's the difference between you saying, hey man, I found a discount on iGo. Next time you go travel, check it out. And when then they save, you get paid. Tier, we learned early on, man, earning money ain't hard.
Mm-hmm.
Money ain't hard. You know what's hard? Wrapping our head around how easy it is. Because we grew up around people that work 3 jobs and they're still broke. That was one, my mom was one of them. And then you see people saying, oh man, I'm working hard for money. I'm working hard for money. So we instantly think that if we want to get $1 million, we're going to have to work 1 million hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you,
Rockefeller said, a man that spends all his time working has no time to earn money.
Yeah. Oh my God. Somebody, I'm gonna write that down.
A man or woman that spends majority of his time working has no time to earn money. Simple as that. Meaning hard work and time alone does not bring honesty and riches.
Yeah.
So that's
like
that's why it's important to have a system.
Like you heard earlier, Biffy was at the cabana with her daughter, doing a call, getting paid. She's at a pool with her kids, getting paid. You go to a pool with your kids, but do you earn? That's the difference. It's all about having a system. And Tier, what we have where it says lifestyle creators, those are the calls that you can plug into to better learn the system. So when people join the business, most people, what happens is they get plugged into a business. Sayonara, that's what happened to Biffy. 18 months, she got thrown into a business and they said, see you later. Well, you're not going to do that in any other case. You're going to learn.
Right.
You're going to have things you can plug into. That's why we have the masterclass, the Boys to Billions, the Ladies Leadership, the 5K Club, which is our investment club. So when you earn income in the company, iBoomerang, guess what we do? We say, hey, don't spend your money, because when you spend E&D, the money ends and it goes back out and it never will come back.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, when you earn a certain amount, 5,000 volume, you should have earned some income. Let's show you where you can invest it into what we call NFTs. Or let's show you where you can invest in what we call elevate trading. Let's show you how you can have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 sources of income helping you earn $5,000 a day if you choose to.
Mhm.
And the only reason why people say no is because they can't see it.
Right.
So that's our responsibility. These calls are to get you to see it. See?
Absolutely. And look, guys, we got a lot of people that are all across the globe. Put inside the chat where everybody's tuning in from, because we got people all across the globe. We have our very first 5K event happening out there in Birmingham, UK. What I would do if I were you, if you're out there in Europe, if you're out there in the UK, wherever you are and you can make it, you want to make sure that you are in the house. Why? Because we're going to share some information that's going to help you change both your mental and your financial situation. Because at the end of the day, the whole purpose behind the 5K Club is to put people in a position where they don't have to essentially stress about earning income, where they don't have to stress about building this business off of desperation, but they can build it more off of inspiration. Why? Because they'll be more inspired to encourage or share with people how they can live the same lifestyle as you. And so, you know, we have a private dinner with the leaders as well. So what you want to do is you want to qualify, but you also want to invite as well. Because I'm a firm believer, just like what Aaron said earlier, you know, at the events, that's when you really capture the vision of, man, I can live this way too. Man, they have a similar background as me. I can do this too. And so, you know, if you're in the UK, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you get back with a person that invited you to this call and you say, hey, look, man, I want to be at the 5K event. It's free for all the guests. But what I would say is not only you be there, but you bring other people there with you as well. Why? Because it's one thing when you're there by yourself, you know, you get the energy for yourself. But when you go back to where you originally are from, guess what's going to happen? They're gonna feel left out. Not only that, you're gonna feel like, you know, they missed out. So it's always better to have somebody or a group of people with you at an event. Why? Because events change lives. And Jason, we've been to so many events and they've, you know, helped shift our self-image and our perception of not only ourselves, but how we can help other people. So what I would say is like what Fraser just said, this event is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be fire. So what I would say is I got you. When it comes to, you know, the leaders, look, we got a lot of people that are progressing in a major way. We have a leadership retreat out in Florida. And this is, I'll tell you like this. Every leadership event or training that we have, it is a special time to really come together as leaders, mastermind, have some, you know, some fun, but also create some systems, some things that can help everyone in this organization win. Because those are, you know, those are the times where we build a stronger family ship. Everybody put the word family ship inside the chat. Because I remember when we went to Orlando, we got a nice mansion, had multiple rooms, had a, you know, theater room, had a game room, you know, swimming pool, you know, grill, you know, I got to throw down on the grill. But it came to a point where, you know, we could sit down, we can have conversations, we can be a family and talk about, okay, where we are now, where are we going? And, you know, what do we need to do to make sure that the newest people can get to their success a lot faster than what we did. The leaders are not here to talk about themselves. The leaders are here to develop things and set up systems to help you get to the level of success that we are at a faster period of time. And so, you know, if I were you, I would do whatever I have to do to get to Sapphire and above. Because when you get to these different leadership ranks, of course, you're going to have more responsibility, but then you'll be able to unlock different conversations that'll put you at a different conversation. Y'all like that? Jason, what you think, man?
I think that's huge, bro. I think it's what did TD Jake say? Proximity's power.
Mm-hmm.
Proximity's power, and that's what it's going to give you. It's going to give you what's called access. The only reason why we're able to be in the position we're in here is because we've been granted access, because we've been around it.
We earned it.
And that's just earned it. Yeah, you damn right. We worked. But for example, Tier, the work that we had to do the past 7 years, people don't have to start where we started.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to go through the foundation. It's like we had to build the neighborhood. All they have to do is move into the house. We already did that.
Yeah.
Same thing with what's coming up with the Gold Diamond and the check. We already built the neighborhood. You just got, that's why there's people now that are joining the business, and their first week, first month, you know, thousands a week, thousands a month, thousands a day. Some people are just skyrocketing in their business. And that's because we built the foundation. Mm-hmm. So Tierra, you know, I think that's huge, man.
Absolutely. And look, man, like we always say, events change lives. Events really, you know, just create an experience for you to take action upon, because, you know, once you get that experience to be around people that are on the same mission as you, and everybody's mission is really to create freedom and create significance, you know, it's just a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. So Jason, man, let's bring this thing into Atlanta, man. Let's help these people get started, man, because I know we got some people that are very hungry. They're excited, but not only are they excited, that they want to take action. So what's the next steps, man? What's the next steps for the individuals for, you know, that are ready to get started?
Take from one pocket, put it to another pocket. Tier, the thing about what we do, man, it's such a cheap business to get in. You know, when I think about entrepreneurship or about business, I think about something that costs 60,000, you know, 100,000. Some businesses cost $1 million. I mean, our businesses never cost more than like this business doesn't cost more than $2,000 to get started and to keep running. Mm-hmm. And, you know, well, what I always tell people when it comes down to this part of the conversation, everybody loves us talking about M1, M2, M3, but no one loves the action of it. I was saying that on the call earlier. I said, everybody loves, it's like what's the quote? Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody, I'm not even gonna get into that. Look, everybody wants to cross, but nobody wants to carry it. Right. Or the testimony, but not the test. Well, Tier, in order for you to get the testimony of you earning thousands a week in your business, and you being able to grow as an entrepreneur, the only way that's happened for you is because you invested into yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, we got started with the highest way. Why? I remember I did a call with somebody and they asked me, they said, hey, what's the lowest way to get started in the business? And I stopped for a second. And I said, did you just ask for the lowest way? They said, yeah. I said, let me tell you this. I said, there's nothing wrong with starting with the lowest way, but there's a big problem if you're aiming for the lowest way. Most people want the cheapest package, and they don't understand that that's going to take the longest for you to get rich. Mm-hmm. Go get the cheapest iPhone and see how fast your data is. And you're going to be looking at the phone, why is my phone slower than Jimmy's? I mean, because Jimmy got the one that has 3 cameras, even though it costs $1,000 more. However much you invest into something is what you're going to value it as. Like T, we've invested tens of thousands of dollars into the business. Not 1 10, 2 10s. So what I always tell people, oh, go ahead, T, what are you going to say?
I think, you know, one thing that people really need to understand that, you know, your life is a constant investment. You're going to have to continually invest into yourself. For example, when it comes to your car, everybody's complaining about, you know, the gas prices, you know, things of that nature. Well, if you had the understanding of how much you value, you know, getting to a specific place, then you will pay the price. When value exceeds price, people are going to buy. When people have a desire to do something, they're going to do whatever it takes for them to get it done. So if you really value yourself, your future, and the things that you want to do, you're going to pay the price, whether it's something that you can't afford or not. But understand this, you can't afford not to invest into yourself constantly. Because if you don't invest into yourself, who's going to value you? Who's going to value your time? Who's going to value your word? Who's going to value your actions? if you don't. So what I would say is, you know, how much ever you invest into yourself is going to determine how much you value yourself. So if I were you, I would keep investing. Invest as much as you possibly can into yourself. I don't care what your age is. If God wiped away, you know, time, you know, what would you do with it? When would you invest into yourself? You got to take the whole idea of time out of the frame. Jason, back to you, man.
Well, look, I would tell people to get started, man. And look, we got a lot more meetings going on throughout the day and even tomorrow. And I'm excited for everybody who's on this line. If you're new, look, if you're brand new, I'll put it like this, T, because I'll be honest with you. I don't care who gets started. Our life is just going to keep going like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to keep going like this because, Tier, there's 8 billion people in this world. 8 billion. Facebook has 1.4 billion of them. And they still got 7 billion more to go. So we're not looking for everybody to become billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking for a few. And if that's you, make the decision. Like Tier, you have the famous quote, tell me yes, tell me no, tell me fast, I gotta go. Look, the best thing you can do is just make a decision. If it's yes, be firm. If it's no, be firm, but let us know. Because at the end of the day, Tier, the faster you say yes or no, it's the faster we can either help you or the faster we can move on to help somebody else.
Right.
Because the person that's saying convince me doesn't know that there's someone else behind them saying help me. And we're trying to find the person that's saying help me. So it's a sorting game. So I'm excited, Tier. Look, whoever's new on here, immediately after this call, get on the phone with the person that brought you. Immediately. And just give them a decision. Take action. They'll show you how to get started. They'll answer if you have any more questions for you. They'll get all that answered and clarified. But the only thing you need to know to make a decision is what you really want.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, T, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you as always. And once this recording is launched, send it out, blast it out to people. Because look, we don't need no CNN, constant negative news. Y'all had that for 30, 40 years. We need some Zooms. we need some positive Pats, right? Not no negative Nancy's. So share this information and let's get to the top. T, I'll see you there, brother.
All right, brother. See you guys soon.